So if you're tired of starting and stopping, losing the same body fat over and over again, in this video, I'm going to share with you 3 key lessons that you can implement as a part of your plan right now that will help you be more consistent. Because as you probably realized, knowing what to do and consistently doing what you know are 2 very different things. And there's a lot of good advice out there on what to do to lose body fat, but there's very little advice on how to do it consistently and also how to keep the fat off. And that's what I want to talk to you about in this video, so let's dive right into it. The first key lesson you need to know is that temporary measures lead to temporary results. A lot of people get into this thinking they're just one 30-day diet challenge away from success. And yeah, you can definitely drop a lot of weight if you cut down to 1,500 calories a day and you start doing 6-7 cardio sessions a week. No doubt about that. But the question is, then what? What do you do when the 30 or 60 or 90 days are over? These extreme diets are effective at addressing the symptom, which is the excess body fat, but they're not fixing the root cause of the problem, which is the unhealthy lifestyle which caused that excess body fat to accumulate in the first place. And if you're in that mindset where you're literally counting the days until you can quote unquote eat normal again, well, as soon as the challenge is over, you go back to your old lifestyle, the old body fat comes back with it. So the only long-term solution here is to permanently fix that unhealthy lifestyle, and that takes time. You don't get to fix years or decades of bad habits in just 1 month. It takes a lot of self-reflection and deep inner work rather than simply trying to eat less. And in general, most people overestimate what they can do in 1 month of hardcore effort, and they underestimate what they can do in 1 year of focusing on changing their habits, planning ahead, thinking long-term, and hitting the like button. If you simply start showing up every day, putting in the work to be 1% better, yeah, it's going to take you longer, but your results will far exceed anything that was possible in 60 or 90 days. And the best part is that you will have an eating and training system that you can maintain for a lifetime. Now, the second lesson you need to know is that getting lean is all about finding the easiest way for you to create a calorie deficit. And we're not all the same. For some people, losing body fat is as simple as doing a little bit of intermittent fasting. They skip breakfast and suddenly start seeing progress. For others, it might be cutting out sodas, skipping the snacks, eating 3 meals a day, and suddenly the scale goes down. And then there are some that need to precisely track their calories and macros and take a more analytical approach to see progress. And that's why we have so many quote-unquote diet wars going on. Those that find something that's easy for them to stick with and see results try to convince everybody else to do the same. But how difficult this is going to be for you really depends on your situation. How far is your current lifestyle from a healthy one? How many bad habits do you have? And also, how much mental bandwidth do you have to really fix this area of your life? And this is why it's important that you take your own unique path to this and also do this at your own pace. And also, a lot of people make this more complicated than it has to be. Remember, all diets that work do so by creating a calorie deficit, whether it's keto, paleo, high carb, low carb, slow carb, whatever the name is, it's the same principle. And the best one is the one that you can stick with. That's really the bottom line. And when you're choosing which diet to follow or you're creating your own diet, I would recommend that you focus on these 5 things. The first one is getting the right amount of calories and macros for your goals and your metabolism. This is really the key to losing body fat and building muscle. The second is focusing on eating foods that keep you full and maintain good energy levels throughout the day so you don't have to sacrifice your productivity. The third is eating foods that you digest well, that are good for your health, which is very important over the long term. And then fourth is eating a diet that's practical to do, meals that are easier for you to prepare, that you can do on a consistent basis. And then 5 is enjoying the diet, still having some room for indulgences so you're not being too restrictive. Now, most people, when they're considering what to eat, they only think about that last element. It's all about enjoyment. They grab whatever tastes the best. That's why the standard American diet looks more like a series of desserts. And yeah, a part of making this sustainable long-term is to be able to eat the foods that you enjoy, but it's also about learning to enjoy the foods that you need to eat, foods that keep you healthy and help you reach your goals. If you expect to get lean while your diet is full of pizzas, cookies, cakes, and ice creams all the time, fast food and takeout, you're gonna fight a very uphill battle with minimal chances of success. Now, the third big lesson you need to know is that consistency is a balancing act, and life will always try to get in the way. I know that when when you see someone with a physique that you want, there's a tendency to assume that this person always crushes their workout, that they're perfectly hitting their calories and macros, they're always eating healthy, they're getting 8 hours or more sleep all the time. And the truth is, they don't, and nobody does. We all have bad days. Sometimes you go to the gym and you feel very drained, and the best you can do is just go through the motions. Other times you have a couple of random diet mistakes you didn't even notice, but the scale hasn't moved for a week. And there's days where you don't get your step count in because work got in the way and you just didn't have enough time. Those that are consistent know this very well. They understand that bad days are part of the process and that mistakes will happen. Actually, you don't learn much when things are going well. Falling off track on the weekends teaches you the importance of planning ahead, looking at the menus and organizing yourself. Going over your calories by snacking teaches you how impulsive you can be and the importance of organizing your food environment. Weight fluctuations teach you about water retention, how fat loss actually works, and how to be patient. And this journey as a whole teaches you how to be persistent and how to delay gratification to get a much greater reward later on. And it's not a matter of if you're going to fall off track, it's only a matter of when. And when that moment happens, you learn what's to be learned and you move on. How consistent you can be really depends on how quickly you can bounce back on track. And what I see with those who have great long-term results and amazing physiques is that they don't let that bad meal turn into a bad day or that bad day turn into a bad week. It's as simple as that. That's what consistency looks like in the real world. It's messy. It's not an on and off switch. It's a process where you develop your routine by learning what normally gets you off track so you can avoid that, and then doubling down on things that keep you on track. And eventually, you develop your unique system that allows you to stick with it easier and also generates great results. The other thing that's going to help you get great results, making sure to subscribe below. Details for coaching, if you want to work with me, if you want to get that accountability on your fitness journey, are in the description below. Leaving another helpful video here for you at the end, so check out the video, and I'm gonna see you right there.